Well, hello. It's been a while since I did a Baijiu review, and I figured since we are now tariffing the stuff at a bajillion, bazillion, infinity percent and rising, it would be better if I got it done before, retail prices, which are currently still kind of reasonable, start to climb up accordingly. And as long as we're going to review some Baijiu, we may as well do the big one. Today, we're going to review Kweichow Moutai, the most in-demand spirit in the world. It is not Pappy. It is not Macallan, whatever, year-old. It's this stuff. And by the way, I do have to compliment the fine folks at Moutai for having, reasonable packaging for this little bottle. And look at this little bottle. It's a 200 milliliter. It's the cutest thing in the world. Imagine if Pappy Van Winkle did a 200 milliliter bottle that people could just pass around. They would sell it by the billions. Anyways, I'm getting off track. This goes for old bottlings of this go for unbelievable amounts of money at auction. And even this little 200 milliliter was the better part of $140. One of the most expensive bottles I have purchased in a long time. But, I wanted to try it while I still had a chance. So we're going to pour some. First, and we're going to have a sparring partner I'm going to talk about. But let me talk about what this is. So it is the most famous product coming from the Moutai category in Moutai Guizhou, which is a town right on the Sichuan border. Sichuan is right to the west in kind of northwestern Guizhou province in the south of China. That category, that spirit category, is itself the most famous subcategory within the broader so-called jiangshang or sauce aroma category of Baijiu, which is a kind of hybrid between what's called light aroma and strong aroma categories. So it's a little bit like Phoenix aroma in that respect, but has its own madness to it. Anyways, so this is the most famous category of Baijiu in China, unless you count maybe like Red Star. And no, I'm not going to review Red Star because there's just too much time in the day. Why? So you might be asking yourself, okay, that's fine. Why is it so darn expensive? I mean, part of it is the prestige, right? This is the stuff. I mean, there's tons of history behind this. It has deep, deep connections to the revolution. This is the stuff you give as gifts, as bribes. You pour it for weddings. You pour it for state parties. Even beyond that, there's problems of just how much Moutai you can actually make. The town itself, Moutai Chun, is it's basically, crushed between two huge mountain ranges with a gigantic river running through the middle. So you run out of room to expand operations after a certain point. And they've tried to recreate the Moutai formula elsewhere, and it's never really worked. Something about Baijiu production is very, very terroir specific. So there's a limited amount of the stuff you can make, although they make a fair bit of it. And it's also, a lot of the cost just comes down to production process. And this I want to talk about because it's amazing. And it is also something I messed up in the last video I did on sauce aroma Baijiu. So I want to get it right this time. How do you make a sauce aroma Baijiu, in particular a Moutai? Well, you start with some grains. In this case, it's 50% sorghum and 50% wheat. And you load them up into your still, which is basically a big steamer. It's its own kind of thing. And then you steam your grains. You break down the cell walls. You get them all hot and soggy and moist. And then you're going to toss your grains with this stuff called Chu. And Chu is, it's what makes Baijiu distinctive. It's what makes it Baijiu. It is essentially like a cultured biobomb full of microbes. You've got yeast in there, but you have also got other fungus, other mold. You've got bacteria. You've got all kinds of fun stuff, and it is always going to be distinctive of the area. That's just kind of the thing with Chu. So you're going to toss your grains up with these little, micro bombs. You're going to throw them in a stone pit. You're not adding any water. You're not making a wash with this. It's just going to do its thing in a solid state. And in this stone pit, it is going to simultaneously saccarize and ferment. So you'll get transition from the starches to sugars and sugars to alcohols. And they're going to let this stuff cook for about a month, and then they're going to load it, your kind of soggy, alcohol-rich, grainy mush, back into the still, and you're going to distill it. And some of the stuff that comes off the still, you are going to keep. It's going to go off to aging. We'll talk about that in a minute. But most of it you're going to put off to the side, because then you're going to pull out your stillage, the gunky leftovers of what went into your still. It's called dunder in Jamaica, right? In rum making, your stillage, your leftovers, and you're going to mix that up with fresh grains and also more Chu. And you're going to take this mixture and throw it back into the pit for more fermentation. And then, just for fun, you're going to pour all the stuff you didn't collect and send to aging that came off the still, all the stuff you just distilled. Not all the stuff, but especially at first, most of the stuff you just distilled, you're just going to pour that straight back into the pit. Tails and heads and all of it. You're going to let it cook again. They do this process. They repeat this process 7 times. Digging the stuff out, distilling, putting in the still, distilling it back into the pit. And the last couple of times, they're only adding Chu. So they really want to just milk as much funk out of this process as they possibly can. I mean, this is the most insane production process in spirits that I'm aware of. This is, if you want to get technical, to call it a technical term, this is a right pain in the ass to do. Incredibly labor intensive. It's an incredible effort to do this. And then, of course, the last still you're collecting, distillation, you're collecting everything that you make. But, I mean, if you know anything about distillation, especially if you're coming from rum world, already that having a microbe-rich environment for fermentation, that's your Chu, right, creates complexity and character and funk. Having dunder, stillage involved, creates complexity and character and funk. Having tails and also heads, but especially tails and stuff involved in the process in a intense way adds complexity and character and funk. The something about distilling a thing multiple times without actually taking stuff out of the system, without really essentially making a lot of cuts, adds complexity and character and funk to the process. So what kind of a monster do you get when the stuff is ready, has gone through these 7 distillations and is ready for aging? And aging, of course, happens in terracotta and clay, which doesn't add any wood character. It just doesn't, but it's still very porous. So you get oxygen exchange, you get the nice slow oxygenation, and then the development of interesting tertiary notes. So that is the production process, and one of the reasons why this stuff tends to be so expensive. That being said, it's not the only thing that does this, and one of the reasons I wanted to try Moutai finally was last year. This was one of my favorite bottlings from last year. This is Guizhou, one of Moutai's sister distilleries from further up north. I adored this stuff. And this is going to be kind of my warm-up. This is my benchmark going into this. Oh my God, that's so good. So yeah, this is the standard by which we shall judge the Moutai, because I adore this stuff. And but we also need a proper sparring partner for our Moutai, and for that I'm going to use another Moutai. This is, I don't know if you can see this, Moutai Chun, and this is their Astrology edition. You also see Constellation Series of this. So I bought this because Moutai Prince, which I reviewed a couple of years ago, it's one of those popular videos on the channel, I guess. Moutai Prince, I thought at the time it was fine. I thought it was overpriced. It has gotten even more expensive in the meantime. So I was this is around. It's from the same production group as Big Moutai here, but it is considerably cheaper than either this or Moutai Prince. It has this kind of astrology themed edition. I got the Sagittarius version because I'm a Sag. And by the way, look at this packaging. Again, easy to open. You just cut the little Sagittarius tag here. You pull it up. Isn't that great? I love this. And the bottle is absolutely gorgeous. It's got a little archer lady here. Yeah, so this is reasonably priced. And I'm hoping that even if the Moutai is too expensive for your blood, you will be able to come away from this video saying, maybe I might grab that Moutai Chun with the nice archer lady on there. Because, it's affordable. I mean, it's a half bottle. It's still about, I don't know, $50 or $60. So it's not cheap, but it's not expensive as Moutai or the Guizhou. Anyways, let's... I have babbled for 12 minutes now. Let's get tasting. All right, I'm going to start with the Moutai Chun Astrology Edition. And I don't know what to say about this. Now, I will say, there's even some velvet on the bottom. This isn't that great. This one has a bottling date on it, 2021. The Moutai doesn't actually have any kind of bottling date on the bottle. I've looked, trust me, I've looked. But the website I bought these from, Uncle Fossil, insists this is the 2022 edition, so bear that in mind. I'm going to put that in my notes. So by contrast, the Moutai Chun is not specific about the amounts of sorghum in wheat in here, but it is sorghum in wheat. One of the things I will say annoys me about Baijiu in general is the lack of specifics about what exactly is happening, what is going to the bottle, what is happening with the blending, all that stuff. So I can tell you about the production process, and I just did, and it is completely crazy. But do I know what is the difference between the age? Is this older? Has this spent more time in clay than this one? I don't know. I would presume so, but they're not actually telling me. Is this one made with better cuts or more valuable cuts than this one? I don't know. Probably, but they're not telling me. Maybe someone is. Maybe if you can read simplified Chinese, they're telling you exactly what they're doing with these bottles. But I'm a dumb Westerner, and I don't know, but I would like to know. All right, so let's get started. Moutai Chun Astrology Edition, 2021, 53% alcohol by volume. The nice thing about Baijiu is they always bottle at, not always, but most of the time, the vast majority of the time, they bottle at properly high proof. On the nose. Yes. Oh, I like this one already. I like you already. What are you getting? You are getting sour dark chocolate, blended up with like heavy soy sauce. By heavy sauce, I don't mean like a lot of soy sauce. I mean specifically the heavy style. So we're not talking like kikoman here. We're talking the really grungy stuff. And and peanut oil. There's like a nut oil kind of component to this. But even though there is this like savory component to this, which is holding it together, but it's also just really, it's throwing a lot of fruit at the same time. So you were getting pineapple, orange, even some like black fruit, some blackberry. Little spritz of lemon, a little bit of like a key lime thing. Both the peel, which is very floral, and the pulp of key lime. White pepper. Black licorice. Yeah, I mean, that's just a Baijiu thing. You get fennel and you get licorice in Baijiu. I mean, it's not like you're going to miss it in a blind, but that's one of the giveaways. There's a little touch of Stilton cheese, of, proper British blue cheese. So yeah, lots of savory stuff in this, but in some way, a lot more so than I was expecting. The emphasis is on the fruit. There's even like a fruit snacks component to this. Not gummy bears. It's like remember, any of you remember Gushers? Like the little fruit candy with the gross, juicy stuff inside. It smells a little bit like Gushers. And there's like a certain dustiness to this too, like a river dust kind of thing. I mean, it's very... I do like this. It's very classic sauce aroma in lots of ways. Like, it really has that intense, savory soy umami kind of character to it. But at the same time, it's very pretty. It's very fruity. There's a little bit of florals happening on the palate. This is not inexpensive, but compared to Moutai Prince, go watch that video. This is a steal. Like, this is, I haven't even added water to this. I mean, I haven't given it a final score, but I'm telling you right now, if those are your choices, this or paying more for Moutai Prince, buy this. Really kind of mostly follows the nose in terms of notes. Sour chocolate, lemon lime, juice, but also a little bit of peel. That kind of heavier, grungier soy sauce. Black licorice, Gushers, peanut oil. Or is that sunflower oil? I'll go peanut oil. Grilled pineapple, grilled... can you grill orange slices? Let's say grilled orange slices. You just... whatever. And that kind of black fruit, blackberry plum kind of thing. River dust again. Stilton again. Florals... I mean, it's got the key lime peel, but there's also like, what is that? Honestly, there's aspects of this that remind me of like a really young, aromatic red wine or something. There's almost a violet character to this. If I was going to nitpick this, it's a little bit short. It's a little bit short on the mouth length. It's, not to say this is light by any means. It's completely, not completely, but it dominates your mouth pretty intensely. But most of it is up front. Not a lot of tonsil tickling back here. But This is really, really very solid. So, and I'm right now just gonna recommend this over Moutai Prince. This is just better. It's just better. All right, so let's give this a squirt of water or two, and we'll come back to it. All right, 1, 2. It's 53. I might take another squirt. Let's see. Like a half a squirt more. I don't want to drown this. Ooh. I think water's kind of bringing up the mouthfeel of the mouth presence of this. All right, but now you've waited 20 minutes patiently for me to start tasting this monster. Kweichow Moutai 2022, I'm told. The most in-demand spirit in the world. Let's see what we got. 53%. So it's a little bit more reticent. It's more reserved, at least right now. It's kind of more reserved and quiet than the Moutai Chun was. It's also like it's less fruity. It's less outgoing. There is like a burned peanut oil, burned sesame seed, burned sunflower seed oil kind of thing to this. But the blackberry thing is still there. There's some pineapple. Flowers. What kind of flowers? Let's go violets again. Licorice, fennel. Certainly peppery. There's much more like of a pepper character, like a black pepper character on this than that guy. Come on, wake up. Oh, there it goes. Stay with this, and you start to get some of the really savory aggression that I adored so much on the Guizhou. There is a soy sauce baked onto tempeh kind of thing happening here as well. Some rocks, stones. Here we go. Okay, now it's kicking in. Like a burned lemon peel kind of thing. Like champagne vinegar, maybe. Oh, what is that? Almost like a touch of pickle juice in this. Manzanilla sherry, oh yeah. Baked plum. A little bit of Stilton again. That, blue cheese. Complex, burned, savory stuff. There's almost like an old mud character to this. Huh. It's a dense nose. Initially, I'm not sure if it's a better nose than the Moutai Chun, actually, on the palate. Extremely serious. Ooh, but also very, very crushable at the same time. Unexpectedly sessionable. Maybe that shouldn't be unexpected. Like a lot of the most prized spirits in the world are prized for their crushability. This is definitely kind of up there. This tastes like mushrooms and sour chocolate stewed in like peanut oil, sesame oil, sunflower seed oil, and intense soy sauce. Like, layers of soy sauce. There's some heavy soy sauce, but there's also like a little spritz of like lighter kikkoman in here. With lemon, a lot of lemon. That kind of like manzanilla sherry thing again. Lime as well. Grip, 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 grip. Sherry vinegar as well. This thing really holds on in the mouth. As it should. As, really good sauce aroma style should. Like, it should have grip. More rocks on this. More pineapple. Touch of mango, actually. Orange. Plum. Fennel. Fennel and licorice. There is a cheese element to this as well, but it's not Stillman. It's more like an ancient Parmesan. Like, imagine like a 5-year-old Parmesan or something. But it does have that weird fruit snacks thing. Gushers again, but it's like gushers that have been smeared all over a block of, sauteed tempeh or something. And it is very, very, very peppery and very, very, very umami. Like the back of my tongue is tingling. Especially on the finish. You've got the intense pepper, mushrooms and soy, and the florals are actually really, really big on the finish as well. Like the just violets and, I don't know, blackberry, plum, eau de vie or something, just kind of flying around back there. Yeah, this doesn't suck. I'm very curious to see what both of these do with water, honestly. Okay, let's give that a squirt. 2 squirts. And we'll come back to it. Again, I'm going to add just a little bit more. Again, if you're new to the channel and you have no idea what I'm doing, I found that water tends to put pressure on spirits. It tends to kind of tell you what's going to happen. If you leave them out with, over time, or letting air get in the water or something, it tends to just, show the spirit of the spirit. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad. Sometimes really nothing happens. But I like to do it as part of the review. All right, back to the Moutai Chun Sagittarius edition. Let's see what we got here. Now that I've added a little bit of water. On the nose. I mean, I know that the YouTube videos on Baijiu that are going to get the most views are going to be guys like smelling it, making gross descriptions for laughs and stuff. But this is a gorgeous nose. It really is. The fruit is just so pretty. Blackberry, plum. Like the black fruit has really taken over this with like a little bit of some Smarties thrown in there too. No, but you still have that foundation of savory sour chocolate and soy sauce and the oils. Yeah. I'm sorry, Moutai Prince, you're not beating this. On the palate. Really sour. Just ripping acidity on this. Doesn't have the grip of the big Moutai. Like, this really hangs on. But it's got a ton of sour, ripping acid. But it's very precise. And it's like a champagne drinker's Baijiu, if that makes sense. Soy, chocolate, lemon, then like flowers, aniseed. Even the mouth presence on this is a little bit better. There's a little bit more of mouth length to this. I'm getting a little bit more back here. This is excellent. I mean, this is, I'm going to call this, score-wise, an 87 plus. This is really good. And it didn't need to be this good. Like, it really just needed to be up there with Moutai Prince at a better price, and I would have said, go buy this instead. But no, this has actually surpassed it in quality by a lot, by a couple of steps. In fact, would I buy this as a first sauce aroma Baijiu? I don't know if I would. I think I would still buy the Guizhou. I love this stuff. I adore this bottle. I'm going to cry when I run out of it. I would still spend the extra money on that. I really would. But if you needed something that said Moutai on it, and you didn't want to buy this expensive bastard right here, here you go. I think this is even better. No, wait. You know, the one from Sichuan, the Hong Hu Lang, I tried in that same video where I fell in love with this. They're pretty close. I think that one might be a hair bit better than this, but it's also just a little bit of a different style. So again, if you have to have a Moutai at a reasonable price, that's a great choice. All right, let's see what the big one did, though, now that I've added water. On the nose, this one also fruities up a little bit with water. I mean, it's still very, like, burnt and savory and, like, you know, just take all of your nut and seed oils and throw them on a, you know, burning pan. But, like, the pineapple charges in, the black fruit, the plum, and the blackberry kind of charge in. Yeah. Still, I mean, you can tell it's the same spirit. It's just that there's a little bit more fruit coming forward on the palate. Ooh. I thought the same thing. This is so grippy. I thought the same thing was going to happen. This would fruity up more, but no. It's kind of the fennel and the licorice that kind of take a step forward on this. Also more plum, which I don't mind. This is really good. This is really good. I like. Okay, let me give you a score first, and then we'll give you some context. I'm going to score this a 90, a straight 90. 90 points for Kweichow Moutai 2022. It's very, very, very good. And I get why people dig this. It's delicious. It's crushable. Like, you could... among people who appreciate Baijiu, like, even without the name on the bottle, you could plop this in the middle of a gathering, and we like they would all just crush it in a couple of hours. Like, this is just really, really yummy. But I'm going to piss off a lot of people when I say this. You know, especially like if you're Chinese, I'm really, really sorry. This is very good. I honestly think this is better. I really let me give Moutai its due. This is probably more delicious, more crushable. This is the Guizhou may be a little bit more of a brute, but in terms, let me check myself. This is my Guizhou glass. God. There's a little bit more there. Actually, no, a fair bit more there. There's just a little bit more layer to the umami, to the burned nature of this stuff. Again, it's a little bit more demanding. It's a little bit more brutal, to be honest. But I honestly think this is better than this. So feel free to flame me and call me an ignorant foreigner down in the comments. That's fair. I will not delete them. I will keep them there. You know, I'm going to go beyond what I just said. Like, I could see sitting across from an intelligent taster and having them tell me, these are pretty close in terms of quality. I could see that. I don't think, like, if someone told me, having these two glasses in front of them, and they said the Moutai is clearly superior to the Guizhou, I don't think I would trust their palate on that. I think I would start to doubt their tasting ability. These two are both very, very good. I think the Guizhou is better. So yeah, that's not the results I expected to have on this. I expected to come in here and say, yes, the Moutai is clearly the best one, but if you can't afford it, you know, you can buy the Moutai Chun or the Guizhou. That's not where we are. I'm saying you should still, if you're a Baijiu nerd, you're still going to have to buy this at some point, right? You're still going to have to buy a Moutai because it's Moutai. But yeah, buy a smaller format, share it with friends, bring it to a party. Be a generous, good person, because that's praiseworthy. But if you're looking for something to just have a really good, high quality and high QPR expression of what sauce aroma Baijiu can be, I would say get this instead. And yeah, that is where we end up in this video. Thank you for watching. Oh god, the sun went down and the screen is very dark. Thank you for watching. 87 plus, 90 points. That is the Kweichow Moutai review. Thank you for watching and cheers.